Now on KGW, after a gunman opened fire inside a New York City high-rise, killing 4 people, then himself, officials are now unraveling the attack, including which organization they think he was targeting. Plus, the latest on the man accused of hitting 2 people with a stolen car in Portland over the weekend, as he's due back in court today. Then, the Salem City Council has voted to declare a state of emergency over the city's drinking water supply, but some critics are calling it an overreach. And later, recovery in the gorge. Local vineyards who have lost an entire season of wine in the Burdoin fire share how they're trying to rebuild. KGW News at noon starts right now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the gunman who killed 4 people, then himself, at a Manhattan office building was trying to target the headquarters of the NFL, but took the wrong elevator. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm China Green. Investigators also found a rambling note that suggested the man had a grievance against the NFL and mentioned that his days playing football as a possible cause for his mental illness. ABC's Stephen Romero has more as investigators try to determine a motive behind the attack.
Flags are flying at half-staff today here in New York City following that deadly shooting inside this Park Avenue high-rise yesterday. 4 people were killed when a gunman opened fire with an M4 military-style rifle. This happened as people were heading home from work. It was a busy rush hour time. Police say that the suspect, 27-year-old Shane Tamura, took his own life after that shooting. And we are learning more about the victims today. Among the dead, a 36-year-old NYPD officer, Didril Islam. He was an immigrant from Bangladesh. He had 2 sons and 1 on the way. Also a Blackstone executive, a 46-year-old man, and a 27-year-old woman also killed in that shooting. Another 41-year-old man is still in critical condition. The NYPD is working with federal authorities to try to figure out more about exactly why this happened. We are also learning that federal officials, along with the NYPD, believe that the imminent threat is over. They believe Tamura was working alone, but they continue to try to figure out how this ended up happening. Stephen Romo, NBC News. Back to you.
And a reminder, if you or someone you know is struggling, help is available 24/7. Just call or text 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which provides confidential support and crisis resources. Again, that number is 988. We're also following development news out of Lane County. A major crash shut down both directions of I-5 this morning near milepost 186, just south of Eugene. Southbound lanes have just reopened, but northbound lanes are still closed. Early reports indicate as many as 9 vehicles may have been involved. Emergency crews, including Life Flight, responded to the scene, and there is word of a possible fatality. Again, this is a developing situation. We'll bring you updates as soon as we learn more. And in your local headlines this afternoon, the man accused of crashing a stolen car and hitting 2 people in Portland over the weekend has pleaded not guilty. 28-year-old Amin Noor Mohammed is charged with assault, reckless driving, and DUI. Police say that they tried to stop him Sunday afternoon near Northwest 9th and Burnside when they noticed the car was stolen. They say Mohammed didn't stop and ended up crashing a few blocks away. They say it appears that he lost control and hit 2 pedestrians. Prosecutors requested Mohammed be kept in jail while his case plays out. He has another hearing set for today. A Portland man is accused of assaulting an ICE officer and damaging federal property during a protest outside the South Portland ICE facility. Prosecutors say last month, 24-year-old Robert Hoops threw rocks at the ICE building, hitting an officer in the head, causing a cut over the officer's eye. They say he also helped ram a stop sign into the front door. Investigators identified Hoops from a photo online from the day of the protest. The FBI arrested him last Friday. He's charged with aggravated assault and damage of federal property. And divers recovered a body from the Columbia River that's believed to be a missing 52-year-old. The body was found at Wintler Park, where the man was presumed to have drowned Sunday night. Vancouver fire officials say that he got into trouble when he went into deeper water to recover some property. We're still waiting on the medical examiner to officially identify the body. Officials are warning people to always wear a life jacket while swimming in our rivers. The Vancouver Fire Department extinguished a brush fire that sparked in an area full of blackberries yesterday morning. Crews were able to put that out within about 10 minutes. The scene was then turned over to the Department of Natural Resources. No one was hurt. The U.S. Forest Service also responding to multiple reports of fires from thunderstorms over the Cascade Range. The largest of them is the Piper Fire, burning about 3 miles northeast of the Skookum Creek campground in Three Sisters Wilderness. The Forest Service reports that it's burned an estimated 20 acres. Visitors are asked to avoid the area. And fire officials in Central Oregon have confirmed 13 wildfires were sparked due to a recent storm. The largest of the fires was only 2 acres. Additional resources, though, are prepared to respond to those fires today. Meantime, the Bourdain fire in the Washington side of the gorge is now 69% contained, and all level 3 evacuation orders are downgraded to level 2, meaning people can start to return to their homes. We are headed outside with meteorologist Rod Hill. Rod, you have been tracking the fires on your end as well.
Yeah, beautiful, sunny, warm day, and so far it's been mainly dry across our 2 states, but China alluded to the fact that thunderstorms are in the forecast once again. Our Futurecast models have been showing mostly after 3 o'clock, and we'll track what those storm paths appear to be coming up in my complete forecast. For right now, I'll show you the satellite radar, and it's been mainly dry. There's one area some showers have been trying to pop between basically Jefferson and Wasco County. Again, we do expect in the coming 3 hours to start seeing some storm activity. And again, today the storm threat is east of the Cascades, and that's where you see the red flag warning for high fire danger. Notice this is Bend, Madras, Burns, Baker City. This is the best chance of thunderstorms, high fire danger, simply put, because lightning can cause new fire starts, and we had that yesterday. We expect it again later today. Futurecast models show a little bit of that storm activity moving up into our area in terms of central and eastern Oregon. Here's the Rose City camera. Same blue sky I'm seeing from our weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. Let's see where we are at noon. We are at 75 degrees. Are we going to hit 90 today? That's the question. Hour by hour forecast says yes, we do it. 90 degrees at 5 p.m. I'm actually saying we could get as hot as 92 this afternoon. So we'll track Portland's temperatures. Could be back-to-back 90-degree weather. And again, that thunderstorm threat that we're talking about, it's still at least possible that tomorrow night some of those storms go over the Cascades into the Willamette Valley. And we'll talk about that coming up in my complete forecast. For now, China, it's sunny, it's warm. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. And people are worried about safety around Multnomah County Central Library in downtown Portland following a deadly shooting earlier this month. So County Commissioner Megan Moyer sent a letter to the mayor and police chief saying more needs to be done to address the violence and drug use. Portland Police Commander Brian Hughes responded saying they're doing what they can.
Well, I just want to say that we are being a good partner, and the bike officers deploy there regularly, and we do maintain a regular presence at the library. But keep in mind, I have the entire downtown Central City core that I'm responsible for, and competing priorities, right?
Meantime, Portland Police later sent a list of recommendations on what they think the county could do to help. It includes replacing library security with members of the sheriff's office, installing metal detectors, removing outside benches, and eliminating outdoor Wi-Fi. Salem City councilors have declared a state of emergency, taking swift action, they say, to protect the city's drinking water supply. The move comes ahead of a planned drawdown of the Detroit Lake that could threaten Salem's primary source of water. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says that water levels need to be lower to help endangered salmon migrations, but the change could stir up sediment and overwhelm Salem's filtration system. It would be the lowest the reservoir has seen in over 70 years or so, and not everyone agrees with the plan.
We have to handle this in a common sense manner. I am for the tribes and I am for the fish, but only when they will do the full research.
The project is expected to go on for 3 years as the Army Corps of Engineers studies changes in salmon migration. Meantime, city officials in Newport asking residents to conserve water because of drought conditions. They're suggesting people limit watering their lawns and plants, and if you have to water, do it when it's cooler outside, like in early morning or evening. Other ways you can help include reducing your shower time or waiting until you have full loads before doing the laundry or running the dishwasher. Governor Tina Kotek signed several housing-related bills into law that allow more middle housing like townhomes and duplexes in cities in unincorporated areas of the state. Now, the bill also allows the state to pre-approve housing plans and provide financial assistance to housing projects in Oregon. The governor also wants to work with local governments to streamline the permit process.
We want more people to own their homes and live in places they can afford. And the bills I've signed today are going to provide more guarantees that we can get there, because we're just going to make it easier to build, and that will lower the price.
So these are hardworking folks who are excited to have a place to plant roots, to not have to move around chasing rents. These are folks who might be a nurse's assistant, for example, or a teacher's aide, or someone who does housekeeping at hotels who can afford home ownership, which is a big deal today.
Governor Kotek says the goal is to create 36,000 new homes a year, but only 14,000 permits were issued last year, and most of them were for single-family homes.